As the sequel to last year's The Two Towers, Return of the King looks equally as spectacular, and hopefully the button-bashing nature won't taint our gaming enjoyment like it did before. All the core Fellowship characters are present, along with some mystery appearances that EA won't yet reveal, and sticking closely to the plot, there'll be multiple destinations and tasks to carry out just like before. Attempting to recreate the harsh realities of the Vietnam War, Men of Valor breaks cover with American ground force commitments of 1965 right through to the Da Nang Tet Offensive of 1968. Not only is Sierra's latest shooter looking razor sharp, it will hopefully make excellent use of Xbox Live too.
Light 'em up now.
The PC SWAT series is finally making the leap to Xbox, but the port from PC to console comes with a number of significant changes. Whereas PC SWAT-based outings required methodical strategic planning and clinical execution, Global Strike Team's action-orientated approach is thankfully more lenient, and a simplified control system makes it easier for newcomers to jump straight in. Once you've mastered the art of coordinating your three-man team, you'll find the combat is gripping stuff. And thanks to the Xbox Live headset gimmickry, you can dish out orders directly instead of going through the trickier menu system. Midway's gearing up for the release of Spy Hunter 2, and this time we're promised massive new boss battles as a reward for all that hard driving. Your new highly updated Interceptor can transform into a motorbike, a four-wheel drive vehicle and a snowmobile. Plus, each unique transformation comes with its own range of advanced weapons and equipment capabilities. New customization options mean you can tailor your Interceptor to suit your own style of play. And along with new weapons, a whole range of defensive measures like oil slicks, landmines and smoke screens. Prepare for Spy Hunter 2 this autumn. We'll have more when we get it. Amongst the avalanche of this month's announcements comes Need for Speed Underground. The seedy world of underground street racing is about to be prized open as you compete against the fastest racers around, and EA claims that 100 unique racing events will be available when it finally arrives in early 2004.
15 ain't Grammys, and I keep a chick face between the lens. Styling, y'all heard about my kick game. I'm on the parquet, you see me at the Nick game. Lately, I tried to hit those. Look at the hurt, your eyes is red. Here's a new way to go. Listen to the two-way and learn to go. Let's go, young people, raise the skirt. Holla back, youngin'. Holla back. Holla back, youngin'. Holla back. Holla back, youngin'. Holla back. Holla back, youngin'.
New girls, great gadgets, and hopefully some improved driving sections. James Bond 007 Everything or Nothing embraces an all-new look, favoring third-person action as opposed to first-person shooter. Expect a cracking new Bond storyline when this hopefully arrives in November. The Medal of Honor series soldiers on, and with the emphasis firmly on stealth in Rising Sun, camouflage and tactics will ultimately rule the day. Still in World War II, the latest edition of the series has you posted in the clammy climes of the South Pacific. So far, it's all looking pretty spectacular. Two teams of 7 broomstick-flying players, 4 balls in constant play, and of course the elusive Golden Snitch. It's hardly the beautiful game, but Harry Potter Quidditch World Cup is the favoured sport of witches and wizards, and due to arrive later this year. Slick controls and great animations made Tiger Woods 2003 the best golf game to ever appear on a console. And with a host of yearly updates to the 2004 edition, this will undoubtedly keep you busy for months. Offering more fictional and real-world courses, plus an additional roster of PGA pros, Tiger's dominance looks set to continue. Mace Griffin Bounty Hunter really is damn good. We've been craving it for months, and now you'll want it too. Tasked with policing human-alien relations in the 25th century, a seemingly routine investigation goes wrong, and Mace is sent down for the death of his Ranger buddies, which clearly wasn't his fault. With no time off for good behavior, Mace emerges 10 years later a more bitter and twisted individual, especially when he discovers the Rangers have been discredited, and as an ex-Ranger with a criminal past, Mace is pretty much unemployable. The only option is to go freelance, turning to the underworld and taking on the dirty jobs no one else will touch. Aside from the lack of live gaming features, the only disappointing element in Mace Griffin is the game's 3D space shooting bits. Stuck in a cockpit, you spin around aimlessly with some targeting arrows and some small enemies in the distance. The only good thing about the space bits is that your ship becomes part of the level when you land. Pull into a docking bay and you can use your ship's guns to clear out any enemies that may be around, which is far quicker and much more preferable to running out and doing it manually. Mace Griffin demands serious equipment management skills. You can forget about wasting rockets on the easier guys and switch to the pistol when taking out the annoying radioactive spiders deliberately included to drain your ammo. Reloading your weapon and recharging your Halo-esque shield will often result in a few rounds of hide-and-seek too, as the incredibly clever enemies don't wait around as you fumble about with shotgun shells. Because Mace Griffin rewards you for thinking ahead, the sniper zoom will soon become your best friend as you scope out distant areas for snipers before moving on. You can use the security cameras too, which come in handy for spotting shielded enemies before they spot you. It's all very tactical as you never know what's coming next, but don't go expecting to get through it without a lot of trial and error. Apart from a few embarrassingly small niggles, we totally love Mace Griffin. Everything we demand from a top-notch Xbox title is here. Superb looks, solid plot, atmospheric music, lengthy missions, highly intelligent enemies, and all wrapped up into a near-perfect marriage of stealth and action. Alongside Halo, it's an Xbox shooter you simply must own. You won't regret it. If you crave all the excitement of a career in F1, but prefer a less life-threatening approach to bombing it around at hundreds of miles per hour, then strap yourself into EA's F1 Career Challenge. The career mode itself spans the 1999 to 2002 seasons, with accurate driver and team data for each year. But before you go anywhere, you'll need to gain a super license. Basic driving tests gauge your acceleration, braking ability, and the cornering challenges pretty much speak for themselves. Finally, Racecraft tests your worth in the wet and takes you through the joys of pit stops. It's all pretty basic stuff and easily achievable within 5 minutes as long as you stay on track. But there really should be an option for seasoned F1 enthusiasts to skip through all the basic day one stuff. Once you've been offered a drive with one of the lesser teams, you can engage in various test days in the lead up to a full race weekend, starting with Friday's qualifying laps through Sunday's warm-up and onto the race itself. It's a satisfying bit of role-playing that fits well with all the lifestyle elements. Once you're on track, you'll find the cars look real enough and handle reasonably well. But when it comes to replaying your horrifyingly fast laps around Monaco at the end of each race, F1 Career Challenge fails to relive the full glory and opts for the fiddly in-game fixed camera replay system instead. But if playing through the entire career mode season isn't your thing, you can at least go for a spin in quick race mode, where any team, driver, circuit combination awaits. The only downside to this seasonal outing is the rough-looking graphics and the 1999 to 2002 career mode span, which fails to capitalize on all those chaotic new changes to the F1 ruling system. It's a nice concept overall, just not accurate enough for true fans or arcadey enough for thrill seekers. Despite an interesting TOCA-style plot layering, SX Superstar's shoddy take on the bike racing scene fails in just about every other area. We doubt anyone will like this, but here goes anyway. Choose from a lineup of fictional racers, and you're dumped into a rundown apartment that serves as your base of operations. From here, you can do all the usual story mode stuff, like keeping an eye on your finances and checking your answering machine for messages. You can also access your race schedule from here too, which is broken up into seasons that consist of around 8 to 10 races, with some optional trick contests thrown in for good measure. Races will increase your bankroll, allowing you to purchase new and more powerful bikes, with around 12 different ones to choose from. Cash will also go towards your personal expenses as you progress to more difficult circuits. Other aspects of your lifestyle will gradually improve, including better apartments and more attractive girlfriends. As far as the racing itself goes, one of SX Superstar's most irritating features is the way it decides to place you and your opponents back on the track whenever you fall off at about 5 meters behind your point of impact. Not only is it annoying when other characters suddenly materialize in front of you and cause you to crash, but messing up a section of track only to be given the opportunity to relive the mistake over and over again is just pointless. Themselves are pretty dull, and successfully performing them is awkward too, mostly because you can't get the air required to get through the full motion of the more elaborate moves. The Xbox lacks a true definitive Supercross game, and this doesn't help change the situation. It's playable for about an hour tops, and certainly not worth your hard-earned cash.
Everyone, I've sold Planet Express to Mom.
This bends.
Oh, Fuff. It's not like this is the end of the world as we know it.
This is the end of the world as we know it.
The best thing you can say about Futurama is that it looks and sounds just like the TV show. Decent presentation in video games can convince you you're having fun, even when you've seen it all before. And seen it all before you most certainly have. You begin as Fry. An evil old hag is threatening to take over the universe, and you've been chosen to run the first leg of a rescue relay. Later, Bender will take the baton. After him, Leela. After her, Dr. Zoidberg.
Wow, a chicken walker. Let's take this baby for a test drive.
All four are pretty much the same, with a couple of unique attacks. Whoever you're controlling, the general idea is to jump around collecting stuff and shooting other stuff, while flipping switches, opening steam valves, pressing flashing buttons, and tracking down key cards. It's very much that kind of game.
Well, I'm boned.
There's nothing terribly wrong with it, and fans of the series are certain to enjoy it. But for the great uninterested, there's nothing here to rouse any significant levels of excitement.
that rock tower just happened to be there. Farewell, big blue ball of idiots!
Appearing on both PC and the aging PS1, the original Broken Sword games combine well-crafted storylines with a cracking selection of brain teasers. And while topping the success of the previous games is always going to be a tall order, Broken Sword: The Sleeping Dragon on Xbox looks set to give long-standing fans and newcomers a very special game indeed. Maintaining a delicate balance between story and puzzle solving, gameplay constantly flips between protagonists George and Nico at the most cliffhanging moments. The pace of play may not suit everyone, but Broken Sword: Sleeping Dragon is the perfect example of how a game can keep you hooked throughout. Due for a September release, this one's really worth waiting for. Plagued with fiddly menu screens, poor communications, and squad members who clearly aren't up to the job at hand, team-based games are usually a complete mess when it comes to running around and shooting stuff. Freedom, the Battle for Liberty Island, on the other hand, threatens to make it all good again. Created by the Hitman 2 development team, Battle for Liberty Island drops you in an alternate Cold War scenario, where the Soviets have bombed DC and completely taken over New York. The key factor to Freedom's third-person gun-toting action is its reliance on team play. And progression throughout the 19 or so massive gaming environments yields fellow Americans who can be recruited to your cause. The trick is to use your own little posse of resistance fighters to scout, defend, and follow you into the heat of battle. You can send your soldiers to man machine gun posts, charge enemy positions, or simply lay down some defensive covering fire against the battalions of Soviet troops. As you can see, it's mostly about shooting stuff and playing around with vast amounts of explosives. But there's also a cunning stealth angle to make use of. The best way to weaken your enemy's morale is to take out the big guys first, targeting the sergeants responsible for commanding the privates. The system is beautifully simple, and thankfully your computer-controlled comrades are more than happy to show a bit of initiative. Each level contains a secondary task too, mainly blowing things up, which really shows off some of the best graphical effects we've ever seen. These secondary tasks are not crucial for overall success, but add the extra satisfaction of a job well done. Hopefully, this encouraging mix of arcade action and thought-provoking strategy will distinguish itself from other team-based shooters like Conflict, Desert Storm 2 and Ghost Recon when it finally arrives in November. The Great Escape is undeniably one of the most rousing war movies ever made. And with actual movie clips of the Cooler King Steve McQueen himself punctuating the game's intro, this could well be required gaming for every film fan. The game starts with an ill-fated bombing run over Germany, and all's not going well. First up is the task of extinguishing your flaming fuselage, and when the trusty rear gunner gets smoked, you must take up his post and shoot down the swooping Boche. But ultimately, it's a futile attempt, and after a failed parachute run, you're marched off to prison camp Dulag Luft.
Look out! Someone's coming!
The Great Escape recreates many classic movie moments, fleshing them out with before and after events as you work your way to freedom. Navigation throughout the various camps is pretty easy. A compass points you in the right direction for each objective, and you can prize snippets of information and handy items from your fellow Allied captives. It's a laborious task at first, and you'll soon discover that making a break for it isn't just a matter of filing through some prison bars.
I'm Jimmy James, the camp forger. In order to escape, you'll need a German pass. Now, I can make you one, but I'll need a sample from the goon.
ID papers need to be forged, tools need to be acquired, and disguises filched to make it past German patrols. Every small task treads a very fine line between failure and success, and the goons certainly aren't impressed by this kind of activity.
Halt! Achtung!
Herr MacDonald, a good attempt, but it would seem you have much to learn about escaping.
Sometimes you'll get caught within a matter of seconds, but if you stick to the shadows, peek through keyholes and remember to close the doors behind you, then your escape can be a tremendously rewarding experience. Every successful escape is rewarded with a higher security compound, and the Great Escape has around 20 scenarios to offer, each one nibbling at your patience as you rush into traps and die even quicker. Stealth is truly king in this game, and while it took us the best part of a day to get off the first level, we reckon that hardened strategy buffs who enjoy playing games slowly and for at least 6 months might well enjoy this cunning think-em-up.
Shoot him!
Keen to establish Group S Challenge as the ultimate Xbox racer, Capcom have polished up a decent selection of licensed motors, with more than enough game modes to match. But shiny cars are nothing without some tightening street circuits to race in, and hopefully the selection of courses will do justice to the four-wheeled beasts at your disposal. Players can speed through variations of Surfers Paradise in Australia, Tokyo City Centre, and the famous Monaco GP circuit, where we could harp on for hours about the level of realistic detailing. cars are all expertly modelled, and if Capcom can accurately reproduce each car's handling characteristics, then Group S Challenge looks set to make good on its promise. Why fishing games work on consoles is a mystery. Some would argue they don't work at all, but there's something strangely captivating about them. Capcom's Procast Sports Fishing splits its gameplay into a number of areas.
Fish on! Wow, this one's huge!
Arcade mode is a tournament of timed rounds, where players are ranked by their overall haul of bass. Free fishing allows you to change a number of variables, including the weather and time of day to suit your own preference. And finally, there's simulation mode. Here you can enter a variety of tournaments and compete against the stiff competition.
Fish on! Got him! Don't let him get away! Be careful! Line break!
Procast does bring some new features along for the trip though. A highly maneuverable boat that allows you to change your position around the lake, and there's also a fishing shop where you can use up points gained by catching fish to purchase new tackle, lures and other fishing related items. Interestingly, you're not the only fisherman on the lake, and rival fishermen and women can also be seen patrolling the waters. Engage them in conversation and they're likely to part with valuable snippets of information, such as what lures they find work best and where the big fish like to go at certain times of day. When you eventually hook an elusive fish, a loud voice shouts, "Go fish," to motivate you further in your struggle to land those slippery smallmouth bass. Even if you think real fishing is fairly boring, Procast could easily take over your life if it catches you unawares. Never underestimate the addictive powers of console-based fishing.
Yeah, you got it! You did it! Keep reeling them in.
At dawn, we begin the quest of Lonely Mountain.
I say we squash the dwarves and boil them!
My precious.
Based on J.R.R. Tolkien's classic fantasy novel, The Hobbit is a prelude to Lord of the Rings and will hopefully deliver on fans' expectations for a decent action-adventure. Like Lord of the Rings, the biggest challenge is balancing elements from the book with some new original ideas, and developer Inevitable Entertainment promises 12 chapters of gameplay that roughly correspond to the story flow in the book. Watch out for a release later this year.
Is it scrumptious?
Dispensing with a journey across the globe and all the worldly hotspots that go with it, SXX3 Out of Bounds dumps you on one large mountain with the steepest beast imaginable.
Yeah, man, I conquered this sucker!
3 peaks make up the mother of all mountains, broken up into circuit-sized installments. More info on this one soon.
Yeah, this is the top of the world right here.
EA Games.
Challenge everything.
Helen, it's Janet. I've just picked up an injured man on Brighton Beach. He's got no ID and can't remember a thing. I need to bring him in for a CAT scan as soon as possible. An hour? Perfect. We're on our way. How are you feeling? Still no memory? I found this key in your pocket. Ever heard of Winslow Bank?
It looks cartoonish, but Splinter Cell for your little brother this certainly isn't. Welcome to the psychopathic, cell-shaded world of 13. Throughout the 37 missions, you discover what happened to the eponymous 13, a mysterious figure who awakens with no memory of his past and only the Roman numerals 13 tattooed on his shoulder.
Plug in the fuse and start this heap. Let's blow this popsicle stand.
From this less than promising start, the story slowly unravels, revealing a sinister plot and plenty of adult-orientated action. Like most espionage-based outings these days, stealth is essential, with telescopic sniping the key to staying alive. Once you kill someone, a Batman-style kapow caption accompanies the impact. Get a particularly impressive kill-in, and 3 comic-style panels appear at the top of the screen, showing the full gory death. Helpful for long-distance kills to confirm they've gone down, and just plain entertaining for all the rest. Stand still for a second or two and you'll activate your heightened senses. You'll be able to hear guards walking in different rooms, and best of all, you'll actually see their footsteps on screen as the word tap accompanies their every move, right where they're walking. Not only does 13 look different from your standard shooter, it also departs from the dogma of normal shooting options. Take objects, for example. In most shooting titles, you can't pick up much except the odd power-up or health pack. In 13, everything is literally up for grabs. Chairs can be smashed over evil heads, bottles and knives can be thrown, and all manner of mundane stuff can be turned into a handy weapon. Those looking for something different in the Xbox shooter universe are well advised to keep an eye out for 13. We'll have our full review soon enough.
They're back! Watch out! Get down! The cable's gonna snap! I'll go down first and create a diversion. Cover me!
Yeah, I'm a big faker. I'm not from England, I'm from Northern California. And I did a lot of stage before I came to Los Angeles, so stage actors can do pretty much any accent that they could get paid for. So the European accents I can do well. Asian accents I don't know about. But yeah, big faker. I've had 7 years to kind of perfect this accent, so it's gotten a little better. Watch the first episodes, though, if you want to laugh.
Yes, Spike's journey on the show has been a long one. You know, he started as a kind of a 2.5-dimensional villain, and they never would have decided to build me up so far and make me so cool if they'd have known I would be living past 5 episodes. But there was something which was kind of mysterious about Spike, which was that he was a psychopathic killer who really enjoyed hurting people, but he was also a completely attentive boyfriend. very sensitive, which you don't normally see. And I think that it was that contrast that initially got people interested. And explaining that contrast is what we've been doing ever since. Why Spike has this incredible draw towards women and this incredible need to please them. There's a weakness there that Joss recognized that I didn't. And as he explored it, I became more and more uncomfortable because I thought he was starting to reveal things about me. But ever since he got brought on as a permanent member of the show in season 4, it's been about taking Spike down all pegs. They built him up so far, they've been humanizing him and embarrassing and humiliating him. And I used to think I thought I was Job. You know, what character am I playing anymore? But then I realized it's when Joss and Marty really love your character that you get humiliated. So when the oatmeal gets dumped on your head, that's when they're saying, you know, we love you.
You're not easy to kill, are you, Slayer?
I could say the same thing about you.
With the sequel to last year's Suburban Girl smash now confirmed, Buffy the Vampire Slayer Chaos Bleeds delivers a cast of well-to-do TV favourites and a backdrop that's hotly rumoured to be the lost episode from Season 5. The game itself is spread across several large chapters, with each chapter being played out from the point of view of one of the 5 playable protagonists. Naturally, each character has their own range of skills and moves. Buffy specialises in hand-to-hand combat, as does Spike.
Let some air out of your attitude, Spike.
While Willow has a range of spells on offer, and it's entertaining to see the way the story forces you to switch between them. Stakes are essential for dealing with the vampires, but they're not the only weapons on the menu. Swords, battle axes, crossbows, holy water, and even the more mundane objects such as garden spades can be picked up and swung about.
Xander, you're in one piece.
And look, goodies! Goodies with which Buffy can make the vampires into lots of pieces.
Puzzles are the order of the day here too, and on more than one occasion you'll have to use your noodle a bit.
Whoa. Now I see why you need a special license for this kind of thing.
Combine this with heaps of combat and the more traditional pursuits of jumping about and ledge climbing, and Buffy the Vampire Slayer Chaos Bleeds looks like being a pretty complete package. Graphically, it looks spot on, plays solidly enough, and with genuine voiceovers by cast members and a host of bonus features, Chaos Bleeds could well turn out to be every Buffy fanatic's wildest dream come true.
Xander Harris doesn't need doors. I make my own.
It's turned me into a megalomaniac.
this whole show, and the game is only going to make it worse. I'm amazed by how much the games look like the show and how much they've tried to keep the integrity of the show. That's really important to me. So it's really fun to play or to watch people who can actually live for 5 minutes play and see that, that's where I've lived for 7 years. I know that place. I know those guys. I mean, it does make me proud, not that we struck a chord with people, because although that's nice, that's kind of a crapshoot. You sort of have to hit the zeitgeist. You sort of have to, be the right guy at the right time, and you can't really take all the credit for that. But we worked really hard all the time to make the show good. That I'm proud of. Humbling it is because the show is bigger than me. It's bigger than the show now. It's a game. It's books. It's so many things. And when people get really passionate about it, they're getting something that I get really passionate about, because it isn't me. It's something, and it isn't even just something I've created. And that's not even just because there are other people involved, writers and actors and all that stuff. It's just when a thing is art, it separates itself from the people making it and becomes bigger than they are. And that is both humbling and extraordinary. The next level for the Buffy games is going to be big Nerf hands that you can hit each other with. But then again, I don't really know much about games.
Colin McRae Rally 3 was undeniably the most hardcore of rallying beasts. But for the Flying Scotsman's fourth and latest outing, Codemasters have opted for a game structure reminiscent of Colin McRae Rally 2. And it doesn't take long to notice the differences. Instead of being tied to one specific team, you'll be able to select cars and drivers from the off, as well as being able to play different courses and even individual stages. There's a whole garage full of new features, including updated courses and new car part testing challenges, where you can unlock shiny new parts for your motor. These are undoubtedly the highlight of the new career mode, and task you with such events as hammering the suspension through a particularly bumpy section or balancing the rev meter through a timed lap.
30 long, 6 left, tightens. Into 5 right over crest. Open hairpin right.
The overall challenge is much harder too. While the cars are certainly less responsive than before, they feel much more solid, particularly when you're sliding them into hairpin bends at law-breaking speeds.
Into long 4 right, tightens 3. 30k, big jump. And 6 left into long 4 right.
The cars have been polished up too, now looking every bit as good as they feel. Work also appears to have been carried out on the damage modelling, which can be applied in 3 stages depending on how bad you are at driving. The sequel clearly sports better graphics than ever before, with heavy amounts of work going into the trackside detailing, and the whole thing runs as smoothly as ever. Codemasters are obviously keen to impress with this one.
Right. right. And 6 left into 2 right. Into 3 left, straight 70. And 6 right, 100. Turn 3 left and trees. And 6 crest 50. Turn 2 right and poles. 100. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, go. Into 6 left 50. 6 left over crest, don't cut. And care 6 right, don't cut. And 6 left over jump. Into 6 left and right. Into crest and long 5 right, tightens. And 4 left over jump. And 6 right into 3 left, opens long. And care 3 right, don't cut. 50. Keep left over crest and 5 right, don't cut. 30. 5 left over jump. And 5 right, cut. And 6 left into jump 50, 6 left and 5 right. Turn 6 right 50, 6 left and jump. And 5 right over bump, into bumps. And 6 left over crest. Into long 6 right, tightens trees outside. 6 right over jump, 30, care 2 left, ditch outside. Into long 6 right. And turn 3 left. 100. Long 6 right, into care 3 left over crest.
It took 2 in the nose, then dropped into the atmosphere.
Who was first contact?
405th out of Diego Garcia. But don't expect a big welcome. Covenant wiped most of them out before they hit the ground.
Immediate. Grid Kilo 2-3 is hot. Recommend mission abort.
Roger, Recon.
It's your call, Sarge.
We're going in. Get tactical, Marines!
Covenant ground forces own this city. We'll need to deal with them before we can kill that cruiser.
Pile out! Go, go, go! I'll evac the wounded. Keep me posted, Cortana.
Of course, Sergeant.
Sir, Corporal Perez, A Company, CP's this way.
Must be seeing things. Guess the brass do give a shit.
Come on, come on, come on! Stay with me, Marine.
No tags.
Hang 2 units, O-name, and he needs an airway.
I'm calling it. It's 1900. The lieutenant got hit as soon as we dropped in.
Who's in charge now, Corporal?
Sergeant Banks, ma'am. He's pinned down up front. Come on, I'll show you.
No, behind that ST!
Yeah.
3 more, coming left!
I'm running low, man. Oh, yeah, Parsons!
Yeah?
Is it clear?
You tell me!
Coño. Friendly's moving out! Covering fire!
For reinforcements. I didn't think they'd send a Spartan. We gotta take that thing out. Cover me! Tech HQ, this is Sergeant Banks. I've got hostile artillery 200 meters northeast of my position. Bring smoke, over!
Right. Damn it, HQ! Is anybody on this rig?
Sergeant, this is Major Easley. Hang tight. We're inbound. Verify delivery of ordnance on target.
Head on, Major. Target neutralized. Take my weapon. You'll need it. puffed out. Ghosts! Making a break for it! I got him! You won't let me drive? Slower! That's one! That's two! Come on, who's for more?
A phantom!
Hang on!
Roots! Look out! Ghosts, to your right. Wait for it. Nice! The Marines won't stand a chance if those phantoms double back. See if you can draw them off. Chief.
Hang on.
Bingo. There's the cruiser. Now, all we need to do is... Bet you can't stick it.
You're on.
What part of get in don't you understand?
Can you take me to the Quickie Mart?
Can I come?
Bingo!
Now that was efficient.
No, yeah, baby. Feel the heat. Feel like you're stronger. Decide to win. Still
In times of great peril, the world must call upon the services of a singular individual.
Welcome to the League of Extraordinary Gentlemen.
I'm waiting to be impressed.
The greatest adventurer who ever lived has been recruited to find a madman.
He's called the Phantom.
To stop him, you must lead a team like nothing the world has seen.
Thanks. Eyes open, boy. Can't protect you all the time.
Dr. Jekyll, at your service.
Cheers.
Extraordinary gentlemen indeed.
And women.
Our transportation has arrived.
You have 4 days.
And the game is on.
This year.
So what are we dealing with?
Unstoppable assassins.
Eyes open, boy. Can't protect you all the time.
They're indestructible!
20th Century Fox invites you
Take the wheel!
to discover an adventure
I don't know how to drive this thing!
in a league of its own.
Surface!
Sean Connery.
I doubt you measure danger the way I do.
The League.
That was naughty.
Baby, time to get up.
Good dream. No.
Your whole life somehow.
Grace, the dog! That dog!
Have you ever felt
I'm Bruce Nolan for Eyewitness News. Hey, Wacky Bruce!
unappreciated?
In the newsroom, we don't wear hairnets.
God, why do you hate me? Have you ever thought life
What are you doing over there?
was unfair? Have you ever complained about it?
So God is picking on you?
What is that? The only one around here not doing his job is you!
You must be Bruce.
Who are you?
I'm God.
Please. Okay, how many fingers am I holding up?
7.
Aha!
You've been doing a lot of complaining about me, Bruce. You think you can do it better, so here's your chance. When you leave this building, you will be endowed with all my powers.
It's funny, I woke up this morning and I swear my boobs felt bigger. Do they look bigger to you?
Bigger. Having fun?
From the director of Liar Liar
You took the job, Bruce. I suggest you get to it.
You've got prayers.
comes the story of supreme power,
I've never seen the moon that big.
We really shouldn't waste it.
divine intervention,
Sam?
and proof
I'm Evan Baxter, and here's what's making news.
that heaven has a wicked sense of humor.
That looks like my new co-anchor may need a glass of water.
Jim Carrey,
Hi-ho, Silver! Away!
You've had my powers for a little over a week. How many people have you helped? But I guess you can't now. You ain't dead and all.
I'm dead?
Nah, I'm just messing with you.
Bruce Almighty,
The following stunts were performed by professionals, so for your safety and the protection of those around you, Paramount Pictures and MTV Films insist that neither you nor your dumb little buddies attempt any of what you are about to see. Jackass, the movie.
This isn't gonna work.
It might.
When you want to get hitched? If you keep putting this off, 15 or 20 years, I'm just going to stop asking.
I love you.
You were with the right man.
Your wife. She's dead.
Can I help you?
We're looking for Dr. Chris Kelvin.
The Solaris mission is in jeopardy. Hi, Chris. I still have a little time, and I want to warn you. I didn't lose my mind.
Why not send in the security force?
We did. He's a friend of yours. We feel confident that if you can manage to board the ship, you can negotiate their safe return.
What's happening here? Whose blood is that?
I could tell you what's happening, but I don't know if I'd really tell you what's happening.
Who else is here?
We don't know. I find I sleep much better with the door locked.
How did you get here?
You found me. I love you so much.
That's not your wife. You're dreaming her.
It is a mistake to become emotionally engaged with them. You're being manipulated.
You don't know what you're in for.
I'm not the person I remember.
This is my chance to do it differently.
Go back. Go back to Earth. You'll die here.
I can't leave her.
We are not taking her with us.
She's alive.
It's not human, and I'm threatened by that.
You're gonna stop me from taking her back.
What's wrong?
This story and this character is something I've been interested in since I was a kid. It was just something that I've always remembered and always wanted to do, and I heard they were making a movie of it, and I was really excited by it.
It's a fantastic story. It's one of the amazing sagas we have in the Marvel Universe.
Daredevil's about a lawyer who was blinded as a child. in this accident that blinded him, his other senses developed in an extraordinary way, almost like a radar.
Matt Murdock grows up after his father's murder and becomes a vigilante. He's a lawyer by day. At nighttime, he picks up as the vigilante daredevil.
He tries cases, during the day and fights crime at night.
What do you want? Justice.
Matt Murdock meets this amazing woman.
Matt Murdock.
Nice to meet you.
I didn't get your name.
I didn't give it.
It's the first time in his life he feels like that's it. He thinks he found someone.
I was so into doing this role, particularly because there's Superman, there's Batman, but there are so few women out there that are their equals, and Elektra is one of them.
Does every guy have to go through all this? Find out your name?
You should try asking for my number. Elektra is intrigued by Matt Murdock, just the fact that he's blind and he's hitting on her.
How am I gonna find you?
I'll find you.
They're soulmates. They found each other. Unfortunately, their alter egos hate each other. The woman who's in love with Matt Murdock also wants to kill Daredevil.
So on the one hand, they're lovers, and on the other hand, they're also adversaries, which made for an interesting dynamic, I think an unusual one.
Whenever you see me, it's something sinister going on. The character of the Kingpin, he is not afraid to take someone's life.
Kingpin just doesn't kill you. He killed your whole family.
Give me bullseye.
The devil is mine.
He's an assassin. He's a master with his hands. And with utilizing pieces that he finds, whether it's a pen or a paper clip, he'll kill you from 40 yards by just throwing it your way. Hence, bullseye, 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 bullseye.
Was that really necessary?
Necessary? No. It was fun.
Wearing the wire rig sort of feels like you'll never be able to have children. It holds you up. You're holding your whole body weight essentially by your sort of waist and between your legs and your inner thighs, and it cinches you in there, and it cuts off circulation, and it's pretty unpleasant. But it's great because adoption is a route that I am okay with.
Scythes are swords that are a big part of Elektra's mystique and Elektra's character, and I wanted to be as proficient with them as possible. I would give myself little drills to do in my backyard, and I would say, okay, 10 flips going forward, 10 flips going backwards, with the right hand, with the left hand, with both hands, with the right hand, and then figure eights, backwards, figure eights, backwards, and I would make myself do that every chance I had.
Jennifer was tough. She wants to do the stunts, she can do it. She doesn't ever complain.
Ben and I were fighting with weapons when we were fighting on the rooftop. We bashed each other up a little bit. It was basically our hands that got it the worst, but it's all okay. There's still 10, and it was worth it.
What I love about this movie is that it doesn't go where people think it will. This is something that's a little harder, something that's a little cooler.
We were all having a ball. The fighting is a blast. We all were completely committed to it.
I'm really excited about how it looks and all the tricks and the flips and the fighting and stuff in the movie.
Join a fantastic adventure, a reality beyond reality, in the world of true fantasy. Who will you be? You could be a chef, a blacksmith, a sorcerer, or a brave warrior. Form an allegiance and embark on unforeseen adventures. And beyond the battles, when peace has been restored once again, new friendships are formed, new worlds are revealed, and new love is born. True Fantasy Live Online. What will your story be?
There is a phantom that moves in twilight. There is a shadow that strikes without warning. There is a soldier who has mastered the ways of the ghost. StarCraft Ghost.
Ghost reporting.
The legend can be found in every known civilization. The myth has taken on many shapes and forms, but all speak of a powerful, intelligent race. A race that has vanished.
Our mission was compromised, but we found the truth. We cannot turn back now.
So it is true then. You saw them?
This is nonsense. Their whole existence is but a myth. Unless, of course, you have proof of these divine beings. Living proof.
Next spring. Learn what it means to be truly human.
EA Sports. It's in the game.
Yes!
and floating over your shoulder. I look amazing while you standing like a lost soldier. But I'm a flight, breaking some ankles and I'll be hooping with the Knicks all night. Cause I be producing with Houston, the road was free. And plus, nigga, Antonio and Dicey so nice with the pill. I'ma stay fly when I kick it and switch it to A-Yacht and Philly Field. We play if we will. He's so nice with the skill every time. But I gotta give a code, especially if the game's on the line. Shack up in the paint, with Fisher and Horry dropping trays and Devin George turning them off the pine. Gotta cry like a baby, fully in control. Give me some threes and I'ma take it to the hole. EA Sports 2004, NBA Live. If you didn't, now you know, but I know.
Continua così! Vai!
EA Sports.
Now who got game when it comes to this basketball? Facing another opponent that's over 6 feet tall. Can you shoot a three-pointer? Can you do the finger roll? Can you cross over, drop it down and then take it to the hole? Can you break ankles and shake them up? Take your ball behind your back and straight lay it up. Stand at the 3-point line and kind of jay it up. You got to show them skills to NBA it up. Shoot down, you got to hoop it up. Alley hoop it up. And when the ball is loose, see how fast you can scoop it up. Have your game face on. I hope you're quick on your feet. Playing your content, taking NBA to the streets.
Aerospace Corporation, an arm of the most powerful conglomerate on Earth, has been performing secret experiments in their base on Mars, tapping into the very fabric of the universe itself and beyond. UAC scientists have made discoveries that will forever change human existence. Then something went terribly wrong.
Enemy down. Enemy neutralized. Engaging in force. There's wounded here. The enemy is engaged in force. Threat removed. Another kill. Threat removed. We're here. Enemy down.
You